Hi, I'm Shane from Shanesmithlaw. Today I want to talk to you about what happens when you miss work because of the accident, okay? Generally we call this lost wages because you lost those wages because you were involved in an accident and could not work. And you can certainly get compensated for that, okay? Because that's an injury you receive. It's a financial injury, but it's money you lost, okay? So that's something we would put into your personal injury claim when you filed a claim against the insurance company. Now, there are some caveats to that, or some restrictions, okay? And that is the insurance company and most jurors are going to want to know that you were really hurt and couldn't work. And they're going to want more than your word for it, okay? So we always want to get a doctor's note. We always want the doctor to pull you out of work, okay? Now, obviously, sometimes there are cases where this doesn't happen. For instance, if you have to go to the chiropractor, all those visits are going to essentially say you needed there. So you don't need a doctor's visit for an appointment, but you do need a doctor's visit if you're injured and can't work for 3 or 4 or 5 days or longer, okay? If you have a surgery and can't work after that because of the accident, get a doctor's note saying how long you can't work. Same for the ER. Most jurors and insurance companies are going to understand if you're in an accident, you go to the ER and you can't work for like 2 days, but certainly anything beyond that, get a doctor's note. Get your treating physician or your treating doctor to pull you out to write you a note that says they pulled you out of work, okay? Now, sometimes it comes up where you're stuck on light duty. The doctor says you can't work too much, but you can do your regular job, or you can do a job, but you've got a very physical job where you lift things. Or your boss says, hey, if you're on light duty, you can't come into work. What do you do there? Then you basically have that restriction and see if your employer will write a note that says they don't have any light duty, or your job requires you to be able to do this and that, and therefore you can't come in. Okay, then we'll match those two up, and then we'll file a claim against the insurance company. Now, if you're self-employed, you've got your own business, things are much, much harder there, okay, because you don't have a regular paycheck. Now, if you do have a regular paycheck, it's easy, okay, but most businesses don't work that way, okay? Most business owners may lose contract or may have to sub that work out and things like that, okay? And when that comes up, that's really when you have to dig deep into basically your finances and present what you really lost, okay? Now, you have a duty to basically cover or try to minimize your losses. That gets complicated, okay? What's that mean? It basically means if you can sub out that work, you need to, and then the other party is responsible for sort of the spread or what you lost because you had to hire them, okay? So if I had a lawn service business and I'm the primary cutter, when I go out and cut on the lawns, if I'm in an accident and can't work for 2 weeks, the losses, I'm going to try to cover those. So what I have to do is hire somebody to do the cutting, and then I would make a claim for the income that was lost by having to pay them, okay? So it's just more complicated, and we're going to have to look at your taxes and your profit and loss statements and talk to you about your details. We certainly can do that. Another question that comes up along lost wages is, what if I use my PTO or my paid time off? Okay, can I be compensated for that, or is it just lost? And the answer is certainly you can. What we do is we just get a note from your employer that says how much PTO you lost or you used because of this accident. And the reason you can be compensated for it is because your paid time off is usually set up for you to use in other areas, other circumstances, go on vacation, go on other trips or visits to the doctor, things like that. So by the fact that the accident caused you to have to use it, you can be compensated for that because you can no longer use that PTO somewhere else, okay? The other question is, when do you get your money? You get your money when the case settles, okay? That's gonna be included in your whole personal injury claim and settlement is your lost wages. We always want you to know, keep getting that doctor's note. If you can't work and you're hurt, get a doctor's note every single time. Keep it extending until you can go back to work and do it, okay? Sometimes it comes up, people are like, how long will I be out of work? We don't know. It's however long the doctor takes you out, okay? But always get the doctor's note, always talk to your medical physician. Let them make that decision with you. Will you lose your job? Sometimes that issue comes up or not. Talk to your employer, okay? We certainly never want our clients to lose their jobs, but sometimes you have a physical job and you're not able to do it and the accident causes you to lose your job. If that happens, talk to your attorney right away so we can start getting the documentation and setting that portion of your claim up so we can adequately present it to the insurance company or to a jury. I hope that answered your questions there. For more videos like this, just hit our subscribe button. Also, if you're in pain, call Shane, look us up online, or dial 980-999-9999.
980-999-9999. 980-999-9999. Shanesmithlaw. In pain, call Shane.